Hey guys, and welcome to Functional Print Friday, and welcome back to my shop. So I'm actually on vacation this week. It's the day before I leave today. I wasn't going to do a video this week because it's kind of nice to be on vacation from everything when you're on vacation. But when I went to start packing, I realized I could actually use a functional print here, and I thought, may as well turn the camera on. Figured you guys would rather have a short video than no video, so here we go. So this time of year, as it gets to the end of May, for the past 10 years, myself and two of my best friends go out to the Pine Barrens in New Jersey, and we ride our dual sport motorcycles around in the woods out there. And if you're not familiar with what a dual sport motorcycle is, it's basically a dirt bike that is street legal. And all of these roads in the Pine Barrens are actually roads, they're just unpaved. And they're not really dirt, they're sand. It's just fun to ride around in. But every year we pack our stuff into bins or bags or whatever, and we throw it in the back of my friend's pickup truck. We put our bikes on the trailer and we head out there. And I usually pack in these totes. And I believe here in the US, these are called round trip totes. I bought these secondhand. Actually, Tom and I bought these secondhand. We bought like a whole bunch at once from somebody. And I think these are filled up with stuff from distribution centers and then sent out to individual stores. They open them up and then unpack them onto the shelves in the store. But they're great totes if you ever see these secondhand. The one problem is to close them, they don't stay closed. Like, you know, obviously gravity keeps these flaps down, but otherwise they open up. So they've got like two spots on each side where I've been just always taking a zip tie, putting the zip tie through, and then that stays shut. And usually I'll put one at the other side as well, because if you don't, it does kind of open up on this side. So that works fine. The problem is I end up taking a bunch of extra zip ties. Like I'll take a whole Ziploc bag full of zip ties, and I take my snips because every time I need to go into one of the bins and we're not actually at our destination yet, or we're shifting things around. Oops, forgot to put my phone on silent. That's actually Tom asking me what time we're meeting to leave tomorrow. So as I was saying, the problem with this is I need to take a bunch of zip ties with me, and I take my snips, and it's just kind of wasteful. And I'm thinking, you know what? I bet you I could just make like a little TPU sort of like ball and cord that would go on here that would be reusable. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about. So I've got a bunch of these that I use for extension cords. The problem is this one is too fat to go in there, and even if it did fit in there, it's not going to be the right length. It's going to be loose. It's not going to work. So what I'm thinking is if we essentially duplicate this design, but in TPU, and we get the length just right, I don't think it's going to be as flexible as this. I mean, it'll be plenty flexible to wrap around in here. I don't think it's going to be stretchy, but it shouldn't matter. If we get the length just right, it should fit on there nice. And TPU is really strong. Even though this is a pretty small hole, I think it's going to hold up just fine. They probably make these with thinner cords, but I know they're not going to be anywhere near as strong as if we just do this at a TPU in the perfect length. So that's my thought. I'm going to get some measurements. I'm going to get the drawing, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, and here is the design that I came up with for this, and it is dead simple. The only thing that really took any time with this was just kind of figuring out how to print sort of the ball at the end in a shape that would be printable without any supports that would print cleanly. And I haven't printed it yet, so I don't know for sure that it is, but none of the overhangs are more than 45 degrees, so I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. I basically just drew a 15 millimeter by 15 millimeter square, extruded it up 15 millimeters, and then beveled all of the corners and rotated it forward so that it was sitting on this face instead of this face. That allowed me then to sort of run our strap just sort of right into the side of it. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's not going to be straight on the end, which would be ideal, but there's no way to print that without supports. I think that's going to work fine. So I'm going to slice this up, hit print, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, our test print is done and came out really nice. Wasn't sure what to expect with all of those overhangs on our almost ball here at the end, but came out super clean. A little worried about the end. If I kind of yank on this, and I mean, it's not tearing, and I don't know that I'm strong enough to even tear that, but I might increase the length of this part out here a little bit, because when I stretch it like that, it does just kind of look like it thins out a little bit there. So I guess let's see if it fits. I don't know what the best way to do it is. Probably from the top. Yeah, it's sort of pre-angled that way already, so it was printable without supports. Wow, did we get the length just right? Unbelievable. That is luck. All I did was triple. I took the measurement here that it had to travel through, and I figured, well, we're going to need that twice, and I'll just add that length one more for good measure. And just by dumb luck, that ended up, I guess, being right. Maybe it could be a little tighter. Yeah, it could probably be a little bit tighter. Yeah, I wouldn't say that comes off of there easy. Actually, it's really nice and snug on there. I can't lift this at all. And you can kind of, yeah, you sort of release it with that top part. That's another good reason to make this top part a little bit bigger, because you can kind of hook that with your thumb and just push that over the ball to release it. Guys, this works surprisingly well. I mean, I figured this would work, but this is honestly working out better than I thought. I'm going to shorten it a little bit. I think it could be tighter, and when I say a little bit, I mean I'm going to pull maybe 3 millimeters out of the length. I also don't see any reason why we can't bevel the edges of the strap as well. The ball's actually a little bit on the soft side, so I'll probably increase the infill. I think I did 15% grid. I'll probably go up to 17 or 20% gyroid. Yeah, the thing with grid on TPU like this, like it's much easier to squeeze in this direction than this direction. If you do gyroid on TPU prints, you end up with much more consistent squishability. Probably a better word for that. But yeah, I'm going to go print another one. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, our next print is done. And you know, this thing's so small you can hardly see the difference between these. If that's in focus for you guys, you can probably see it on your screen better than I can here in person. But it definitely does look and actually feel better as well, having everything beveled. And I think that extra length there on the end is just perfect. And I did 17% gyroid. Yeah, that actually feels just about right. I mean, this doesn't need to be flexible, but I don't want to print it 100% infill. So if it's going to be flexible, I want it to be like equally flexible in every direction. So let's see if we made it too short. Ooh, it is a little tighter. Oh, that's not bad though. That is not bad. And you know what? Added benefit of beveling everything, that actually fits a little tighter on there now as well, because it can, the edges can sort of just get closer to that center part. If you turn this sideways, it gets even closer, but it doesn't need to be. See how it releases. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. I think we got a winner. I'm going to need, let's see, 2, 4, 6. I'm going to need 10 of these minimum, because I'm going to use either 4 or 5 totes, and I want 2 per tote, a couple extras. So I guess I need a dozen. And you know what? Tom's probably going to want some of these too. He's going to pack in these same totes. So, all right, I'm going to go make a bunch. I'll bring you guys back. All right, well, I managed to fit 8 on the sheet. I know what you're thinking, that I could have fit way more than 8, but I like to do TPU as print by object instead of print by layer. So print by object, it's completing an entire one of these before it moves on to the next one. I think I had them laid out like this on the sheet. I couldn't fit more than 8. I did these on the QIDI Plus 4. I probably could have fit 2 dozen of these, you know, if we did print by layer. And maybe they would have been fine. It's just I found with TPU, you tend to get much better print quality and layer adhesion if it's not shifting over and doing a bunch more objects before it starts the next layer. I think 8 took 2 hours, so I'll probably do 2 more sheets just to be on the safe side, maybe even 3 more sheets. I mean, these are, I think it was 22 grams for 8, so that's pretty much nothing. Yeah, that fits just fine. I mean, there's no reason why I wouldn't, but since I did switch the roll of filament, it doesn't hurt to check. Well, guys, I am really happy with how these turned out. I got another 2 dozen or so to make, so probably another 6 hours worth of printing, but I'll have them all done before tomorrow morning. But I better stop talking and get back to packing up my bins, or I'm not going to be ready to go tomorrow. So, I know this is a quick one this week, but I appreciate you guys hanging out here in the shop with me as always. And if this is by chance your first time here on the channel, this is all we do. It's all functional print. So if you enjoy that, or that functional printing side, sort of engineering side of 3D printing, rather than just printing whatever big multicolored thing someone's come up with next, check out some of the videos on the channel. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. And guys, if you do, I'll see you next Friday.